Chronicles, the question on everybody's lips. If planets are common throughout the galaxy, what about you and me? What about life?
Well, there's a very large string of factors that go together to arrive in that us sitting in this room talking about life, the life in other solar systems. The first thing you have to have are lots of stars. We know there are lots of stars, so that's one good thing. The second thing you need to know, are there lots of planets? Then you need to know, are the planets in the right place to have the right temperature? If they have the right temperature, do they have water? And a whole string of things finally leading up to, if there's an perfect environment for life, does life form there and does it become intelligent? I think we can now make a good case for saying that planets are common around other stars. What will be left to another satellite or to other observations is to push on to those other questions that eventually lead you to the conclusion that, in fact, life is a common thing. I don't think we know enough yet. That's still in the realm almost of theology rather than pure scientific fact.
If life has developed somewhere out there, what's it like? Will it evolve along the same lines as creatures on Earth? Or might it be even weirder? Jamie, there are all sorts of weird life on this planet. If there are planets in plenty out there, will you expect to find something like this on them?
I would, yes. I mean, if you're going to get life, it's probably going to follow certain rules. And if you've got plants for harnessing the energy of their sun, whatever it is, then you're going to get big things like elephants and other things like that to eat the plant. So yes, I would expect something a bit like an elephant.
What about these really weird things that science fiction authors tell us exist, like sort of 16-foot high tripods?
Well, that's a little more doubtful. I think those are really a bit too imaginative. You see, the thing is that I suspect that wherever you're going to get life, it's going to be based on probably on carbon atoms to store the information and build up the life molecule, and on liquid water. And I don't think that's going to enable you to build metallic-looking tripods, that wander around the countryside laying waste to it.
The next intriguing question is how far life on other worlds might have developed. We think of ourselves as pretty advanced creatures, but in astronomical terms, the human race are mere babes. Many of the stars were born long before our sun, and so any inhabitants of their planets will be much more mature. Our idea of a space-age city might seem quaint and primitive to an alien. But if there is advanced life out there, it's not giving itself away. From time to time, radio telescopes search the skies for any hint of signals from alien civilizations. So far, they've drawn a blank. The irony is that we probably broadcast more about our existence to them than they have to us. Ever since we started transmitting radio and television programs, our radio signals have been leaking away, albeit weakly, into space. And travelling at the speed of light, those very first radio broadcasts made in the 1920s have now reached stars 60 light-years away. And within that radius, that includes literally thousands of stars. And if there really are inhabitants around the very nearest stars, equipped with extremely powerful receivers, they'll be picking up this program too, in 4 years' time. On one occasion, we deliberately broadcast our existence from the giant Arecibo telescope to the universe at large. The message, couched in binary code, showed our number system, the chemicals of life, what we look like, and where we come from. Sounds simple, but it needed an IQ of 200 to decipher it. And some people reckoned we were just asking for trouble. The intelligent aliens who received the message might not be friendly. Controversial though the Arecibo message was, we'd actually been even bolder in advertising our existence. The two Voyager space probes, which are destined eventually to leave our solar system, both carry very detailed information about our whereabouts. They reveal exactly where to find us in the galaxy. There's another plaque on the Pioneer spacecraft, already on its way to the stars. But alien eyes might find this part of the diagram rather difficult to interpret. We've also sent a long-playing record into space, together with a stylus and instructions. These interstellar calling cards won't reach even the nearest stars and their possible inhabitants for 40,000 years, and we naturally expect that they will be falling over themselves to pay us a visit. And maybe that's all. We arrogantly assume we'll be recognized, respected, and acknowledged wherever we go. But in truth, where does human life figure in the pecking order of life in the universe? When I look up at the night sky, I can see thousands of stars. Through a telescope, I can see millions more. All of them are suns like our own, and most of them probably have planets. But those planets are no more obvious or important than moths swarming around the lights of a distant city. And yet, many of them may harbor life itself. On some of them, life may be as brief in its period of living and as transitory as a moth itself. But on others, life may have endured and be prospering.